AVC, it is Old Metal Rocker 65 here with another installment of the weekly six-pack number 9. This week it is vinyl. Last week was CDs. Got a good selection here for you guys. I think you'll be impressed with what I pulled out here. First off, what's playing in the background is Annihilator and Bag of Tricks. Kind of a compilation CD of songs off of their albums from the early days. Come out in '94 on Road Runner Records. So you get the old Annihilator tunes here. So anyway, let me get a little drink of Coke Zero and we will get the show on the road, guys. So anyway, Thanksgiving here in 4 days, so hopefully everybody's going to be with family. Going to my brother's. So, all right, let's start off with six-pack number 1. Of course, I said Annihilator's playing in the background. I picked up this Annihilator here, Ballistic Sadistic, their latest album. Came out, what, a couple years back? No, actually, no. This came out in 2019. I'm thinking of Metal. I think they just released Metal about 2 years back. Re-release. Hopefully these new, the old, the early collection, some of it is on vinyl. Alice in Hell, Set the World on Fire is on vinyl. But we're still waiting for those after. Alice in Hell is on vinyl. We're waiting for those others to come out of vinyl, hopefully soon. But anyway, Ballistic Sadistic. Gatefold here. Fantastic album here. I like when Scott Water sings. I think he has an alright voice for the music he's playing. And prior to that, I can't remember the other singer that he had in there for like 4 albums. He grew on me, but it took at least 3 albums for me to like his vocals. To me, it was just a little bit too much of a modern metal vocal style. I prefer more of the older style, and that's what Jeff brings on this one here. Great release. 10 tracks, Silver Lining 2019 release, so if you have never heard this, pick it up. Waiting on a new one too. Number 2 in the 6-pack, and actually I'm going to show you 2 albums, but they will be the same. And it's actually a little bit of different color. And anyway, I'm going to show you Blade Killer. These guys are out of, I believe, California. They got 2 EPs and 1 full length. I think last album they put out was in 2018. It says they're still active, but I haven't heard anything. But anyway, this is from 2014, their self-titled album here. And new wave of traditional heavy metal sound. And this came out originally on Stormspell, but Underground Power Records put it out on vinyl, which is very cool. They kind of cross back and forth. And this one here is just black vinyl. Of course, then you got this here. And but yeah, they've been pretty quiet as of late. I don't know if they've split up the band or their Encyclopedia Metallica or Metallium says they're active. But anyway, now this one here, this cover is a little bit different. It's a little bit darker. I don't know if it's because of fade or what. And then we have this one here, which is a little bit brighter on the edges here, but it's still the same, and it is on a this red and black splatter. So anyway, number 2 of the 6-pack, Blade Killer. band out of California. Number 3 is from a classic band. Their early days were their best days, but when they went into more of a poppy or hard rock scene, from their 80s, the early 80s, they were really good, very popular, had a lot of good hits, but I still prefer the earlier stuff, like On Through the Night and stuff like that. Was my introduction to this band here, Def Leppard, and this here is Def Leppard Strikes, First Strike actually. I had been wanting this album for many years after I found out about it, and I finally pulled the plug on this. But it's been a while now, probably 9 years back, 10 years back. I found this copy for, I think it was $60. So, but yeah, it's an unreleased album by the band. It's put out by Flash Records, but it's quite rare to find nowadays. You can still find them, but they're upwards of $100 or more. So I don't know if you want to pay that much, but you know, I mean, this, On Through the Night, and the one after that are probably my favorites of Def Leppard, but killer. Glad to have this. In addition, I'm going to show you just the CD as well. I do have the CD, different cover, same period, but this is, it has a lot more different tracks on here. It has a predominantly the same track listing that I just showed you on the vinyl, but it also has some bonus tracks on here. A lot of this was recorded from 78 to 79, so it was recorded in a 1-year period, as First Strike was. But anyway, I figured I'd show you the CD too. But great stuff. Let's see, that was number 3. Number 4, a comeback metal album of sorts for this vocalist, and we all know him, love him. I mean, this is a fantastic album. To me, this is very rarely do I do a 10 out of 10 on albums. It has to really be a phenomenal album. This is probably a 9.5 out of 10. But I know we were all excited to hear when this album was coming out way back, and this has finally been reissued on vinyl a number of years back, talking about Halford and Resurrection. Wow, this sounds fantastic. I mean, the whole album is just killer. And but there's the back. Heavy duty. It's a double album actually, so, but yeah, great. When this came out, I was so happy. And then the one after that, what was it? To the Metal, I think. I could be wrong, but anyway, let's see what this came out originally in 2000, but it was released again in, well, through Century Media anyway. But yeah, I mean, great track listing. But yeah, if you don't have this, go get it. You'll love it. Number 5 in the 6-pack, a weekly 6-pack. I used to be a DJ on Sonic Asylum Radio a number of years back. I was a DJ for just about 10 years on the station. In fact, I was one of the early pioneers of the station. I didn't start it, but I came in right after they did start the station, a couple friends of mine. And we promoted the hell out of this band because we interviewed them a lot. I've interviewed them online, and I think these guys are out of Pennsylvania. Let me check here. I do have this as a helper, but Sometimes I use it, sometimes I don't. So anyway, we are talking about CX, and anyway, okay, they're out of Massachusetts. So they came out in 2009. Few albums out. What do they have? 5 albums to date. I have this one here, which is Speed Metal Mania from CX, Speed Metal. I mean, I got a couple of their releases on vinyl, but they do have 5 releases. Last one came out in 2022. Speed Inferno was, I do believe I have that on CD. But some killer speed metal here from CX. And the last one in the weekly 6-pack, number 6. This was kind of a comeback of sorts, at least for me. I thought it was probably their best release in probably 15, 20 years, in my opinion. I really don't hear anything from anybody about this album. Of course, it's a classic band. They came out with Rock Brigade a couple years back, which was fantastic. I mean, it was in my top 10 of what was it? 2022 maybe, I think. But anyway, this was the one before that. I think this one came out in 2010, so it was 14 years since this one came out, and I'm talking about the Scorpions and Sting in the Tail. A lot of people really didn't care for this when it first came out, but I fell in love with it right away, especially the title track on here, Raised on Rock, man. That's just a killer hard rock song that they do fantastic. And but this was put out by Sony Music, part of their label there, but fantastic release, you know. And then, like I said, they came out with Rock Brigade. But if you haven't got this, man, go pick this up. I think you guys would be impressed. Like I say, Raised on Rock leads off, Sting in the Tail, Slave Me, Spirit of Rock, another great track off of this album. The Best Is Yet to Come. So there's quite a few good songs on here that I really love. So anyway, number 6 in the 6-pack is the Scorpions, Sting in the Tail. So anyway, guys, that's all I have for this weekly 6-pack. And I'll see you next week where we do bring number 10. Let's see, yeah, number 10. And CDs. So take care, everybody. Keep it loud, keep it heavy, keep it metal. Later.